Why has the US government started acknowledging the presence of extraterrestrial life all of a sudden? We have come a long way from making jokes about UFOs to now finding and searching for their presence. You might have heard of Project Blue Beam, but by the end of this video, you'll know the truth behind it. We'll provide you with the latest information and guide you through a timeline as if you've been following the developments all along. The story begins with a rancher named W.W. Brazil, who discovered some strange debris on his property in late June or early July. He found pieces of tinfoil, rubber, and sticks scattered over a large area. He thought they might be related to the flying saucers that were reported in the news at the time. He brought some of the material to the local sheriff, who contacted the nearby Roswell Army Airfield. The military quickly sent a team to investigate the site and collect the wreckage. They issued a press release on July 8, claiming that they had recovered a flying disc from a ranch near Roswell. The news made headlines across the country and sparked a sensation among the public. People wondered if the disc was an alien spacecraft or a new weapon from another country. However, the next day, the military changed its story. They said that the disc was a weather balloon with a radar target attached to it. They showed some of the debris to the press and explained that it was part of a scientific project to monitor atmospheric conditions. They said that the initial report was a mistake and that there was nothing unusual about the balloon. But not everyone was convinced by the military's explanation. Some people suspected that they were hiding something more sinister or sensational. Some witnesses claimed that they saw more than just debris at the crash site. They said that they saw bodies of small humanoid creatures, either dead or alive. They also said that they were threatened by the military to keep quiet about what they saw. Over the years, many theories and stories emerged about what happened at Roswell. Some people believed that it was a cover-up of an alien encounter and that the military secretly transported the disc and the bodies to a hidden base for further study. Others suggested that it was a covert operation involving a spycraft from another country, or even a hoax staged by the military or someone else. After the Roswell incident, many incidents and sightings occurred. Some of the popular ones are the Lubbock Lights, the Lonnie Zamora case, and the Betty and Barney Hill abduction. The U.S. Air Force started investigating reports of UFOs in a secret operation called Project Blue Book. The project was launched in 1952 after a series of UFO sightings over Washington, D.C., and other landmarks sparked public panic and national security concerns. The project aimed to collect, analyze, and explain as many UFO cases as possible, and to determine if they posed any threat to the nation. Project Blue Book was led by a team of military and civilian experts who examined thousands of reports from witnesses, pilots, radar operators, and other sources. They also conducted field investigations, interviews, and scientific tests. The project was not without controversy. Many UFO researchers and enthusiasts accused the Air Force of covering up evidence of extraterrestrial visitation and of dismissing or debunking credible sightings. Some of the project staff members also expressed dissatisfaction with the way the project was handled and claimed that they were pressured to find conventional explanations for the phenomena. In 1966, the Air Force commissioned an independent review of Project Blue Book by a committee of scientists led by Dr. Edward Condon, a physicist from the University of Colorado. The Condon Committee concluded that Project Blue Book had not contributed significantly to scientific knowledge, and that further investigation of UFOs was unlikely to yield any valuable results. Based on this recommendation, the Air Force announced the termination of Project Blue Book in December 1969. The official end of Project Blue Book did not stop the public interest in UFOs, nor did it end the debate over the validity and significance of the project's findings. In 1974, under the Freedom of Information Act, the Air Force released most of the Project Blue Book files to the public. The files contained over 12,000 UFO reports, of which 701 remained unexplained. The files also revealed that some UFO cases were not included in Project Blue Book, but were handled by other agencies or classified programs. After just 1 year, a U.S. military intelligence serviceman, Gene Roddenberry, takes inspiration from the documents and writes a script for a Star Trek film, which has the basis of Project Blue Beam as its plot. But the film is never made, and stopped due to some unknown causes. In 1977, Wernher von Braun, a German and American aerospace engineer and space architect, was in the final months of his life while battling cancer. During this time, he spoke with Dr. Carol Rosin and shared a significant revelation. He claimed that the government was planning to employ an alien card strategy, asserting that this plan was built on a foundation of deception. Now this thing took a strange turn, from alien invasions to one world order. The interest of the U.S. in bringing one world order using alien cards can be seen in the speeches of President Reagan. In 1987, during a United Nations meeting, President Reagan offered some intriguing thoughts. He said, "Sometimes, I ponder how swiftly our global disagreements would fade away if we found ourselves confronting a threat from aliens beyond our world." He further suggested, "Maybe we require an external, universal threat to remind us of our shared humanity." The idea of bringing a new world order can be seen clearly in Bush Sr.'s speeches from 1991. This idea is very interesting, and we can see that the Americans love to lead this idea. In the same year, former military serviceman William B. Cooper published a book titled Behold a Pale Horse. Within this book, there's a section that poses a hypothetical scenario. Imagine if Los Angeles were struck by a 9.0 earthquake. New York City was destroyed by a terrorist-planted atomic bomb. World War III erupted in the Middle East. The banks and stock markets collapsed. Extraterrestrials landed on the White House lawn. Food vanished from the markets. Some people disappeared, and the Messiah revealed himself to the world. Now who is this Messiah? Is he referencing the Antichrist or the arrival of Jesus in the final days of the earth? In 1994, Canadian journalist Serge Monast released the book Project Blue Beam, explaining Project Blue Beam theory and how it ultimately ends in a fake alien invasion that will be used to usher in a new world order, and spends the next 2 years giving lectures and interviews on the topic. He explained how holographic tech will be used to portray aliens and Jesus or Antichrist, and this will drive the world towards a new world order. 2 years later, Serge Monast found himself in a troubling situation. He was arrested by the police for choosing to homeschool his children, which resulted in the authorities taking his daughter into custody. However, the situation took a suspicious turn when, the day after his release from jail, Serge Monast was reported to have passed away due to what was officially labeled as a heart attack. So in 2004, Janet Morris, an ex-collaborator with the US GSSC on non-lethal weapons and holograms, made an appearance on British television. During her interview, she discussed the potential applications of holograms, including the projection of figures like Jesus, the devil, or UFOs into the sky. It's worth noting that 2004 marks the last known instance of her being employed by governmental agencies, and she was never seen again. Dr. Carol Rosin followed in her footsteps and opened up about everything. She gave a speech at the UFO Disclosure Project, explaining her conversations with the late Wernher von Braun. After this, we witnessed a time when UFOs became jokes and nobody believed in their reality. But then all of a sudden, mainstream media began covering numerous UFO sightings. The government has also started acknowledging the existence of UFOs and the full scale of reported sightings. UFOs have been rebranded as UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Furthermore, Netflix started releasing multiple documentaries about UFOs, and Joe Rogan invited former servicemen onto his podcast who openly admitted to witnessing UAPs in American airspace. To add to this, former President Barack Obama went on live television and confirmed the existence of UFOs. If you haven't understood till now, let us clear the view. The implementation of the Project Blue Beam has started, and the US government has started spreading the idea of a possible alien invasion using news channels and celebs. Now we have a clip of a Harvard scientist, Robert Duncan, who uncovers some of the truths regarding this project. This clip is from the channel Concrete Podcast. In February 2023, more unusual things started to unfold, and the media started promoting it as if they were promoting the idea of an alien invasion. Some of the strange events that took place are: 1. One surveillance balloon was shot down. 2. 3 unidentified flying objects, UFOs, were also shot down, and they passed through the same locations as the downed balloon within 3 days. 3. New reports suggest that the balloon was headed toward Hawaii. On the same day it was sighted, witnesses observed a massive wall of green lasers in Hawaii. It's important to note that the 3 UFOs were initially described as cylindrical and the size of a car, not resembling balloons. 4. There were 5 train derailments, with 3 of them resulting in chemical spills. 5. 3 cell phone companies experienced outages. 6. 4 social media platforms experienced downtime. 7. Simultaneously, 3 government buildings lost power. 8. 8 countries withdrew their ambassadors from Turkey just 24 hours before a large earthquake struck. 9. A substantial 5-acre warehouse fire occurred in Florida. 10. A U.S. Black Hawk helicopter crashed in Alabama. 11. Multiple earthquakes happened worldwide, occurring more frequently than usual, including areas not typically prone to seismic activity, like Romania. These events raise questions and warrant further investigation of why the U.S. wants to achieve a new world order, and will it be successful in achieving it? Now that's a question for another time. Make sure to watch our other videos as well.